How to understand women without chasing or overthinking. The confusion behind her silence. His name was Daniel Cross, 38, ran a successful consulting firm right in the heart of Manhattan. Smart guy, sharp suits, sharper instincts. He could read markets, predict trends, negotiate seven-figure deals without breaking a sweat. But women? That was a whole different story. One day, she was warm, playful, texting first. The next, cold, distant, like he barely existed. Daniel found himself spiraling into overthinking. Did I say something wrong? Should I text again? Should I back off? He tried to decode every word, every silence, like it was a stock chart. But no matter how hard he tried, nothing made sense. And the worst part, it wasn't just her confusion he was battling. It was his own need to make sense of something that maybe wasn't meant to be controlled. And that's where the exhaustion came in, not from her silence, but from the war he was fighting inside his own mind. The wake-up call from a man who's been there. One night, over 2 glasses of bourbon, Daniel found himself opening up to an old friend, Marcus, 62, twice divorced, now finally happily married. Daniel laid it all out, the confusion, the mixed signals, the mental exhaustion, and Marcus, he just smiled, took a slow sip, and said, "Women aren't confusing you. It's your need for clarity that's doing it." At first, Daniel didn't get it, but then Marcus leaned in and added, "You're trying to get logic from emotion, control from chaos, stillness from a storm." That hit different, because the truth is women weren't the puzzle. They were the mirror, a mirror reflecting Daniel's own fear of rejection, his craving for approval, his quiet belief that he wasn't enough unless someone else said so. And for the first time, Daniel realized it wasn't about figuring her out. It was about facing himself. The shift that changed everything. That night, Daniel didn't sleep much. He laid there, staring at the ceiling, rewinding years of conversations in his head. Moments where he bent over backwards for women who barely respected him. Times he overanalyzed a cold text like it was some secret code. A smiley face, the delay in her reply, silence that lasted just long enough to make him doubt himself. But something clicked. He made a decision, not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet shift. He stopped reacting. No more chasing after mixed signals. No more decoding silence. No more, "Maybe she's just busy" excuses. Instead, he watched. He observed. He let her behavior speak louder than her words. Because the truth is, when a woman truly wants you, you don't have to guess. And when she's inconsistent, it's not mystery. It's either emotional unavailability, or a test to see how much of yourself you're willing to lose, just to keep her. And Daniel, he stopped playing. The real conflict isn't her, it's you. You ever notice how one day, she's sweet, affectionate, even chasing you. Then the next, she goes cold like you were never even there? You tell yourself, she's confusing, she's playing games. But what if the real confusion is inside you? See, you want closeness. You want connection, but deep down there's fear of being abandoned, of not being enough. So you overcompensate, you adjust, you chase, and before you know it, you're trading pieces of yourself just to keep her attention. That's not love. That's survival mode. And when you're caught between craving love and fearing loss, you can't see clearly. Even the clearest signs, her disinterest, her inconsistency, become maybe signals. But here's the truth. When you become whole, her mixed signals don't confuse you anymore. Because clarity doesn't come from her. It comes from the moment you stop running and start standing still. You're not hurt because of her, you're hurt because you forgot you. Let's be real. It's not her silence that's breaking you. It's what you're telling yourself in that silence. You start filling in the blanks. She doesn't care. I'm not good enough. I must have messed up. But none of that is truth. It's just your own self-doubt echoing back at you. You see, most men think they're being rejected by her. But what's really happening is they're rejecting themselves first. They hand over their worth to someone who hasn't even earned their presence. They make her attention the measuring stick for their value. But here's the shift. Instead of asking, what is she thinking? Ask yourself, why do I need her to validate me in the first place? Because when you remember your worth, you stop bleeding from wounds she didn't even cause. You start realizing the pain wasn't proof that she didn't love you. It was proof that you forgot to love yourself. Sometimes her silence isn't depth, it's a test. Look, not every silence is poetic. Not every quiet moment is filled with mystery or hidden meaning. Sometimes it's just a test, a silent push to see how far you'll bend. She's not being complicated. She knows exactly how you'll respond. Will you wait patiently? Will you double text, apologize, chase, beg? Because in her world, your reaction tells her everything. Not about love, but about how much of yourself you're willing to give up just to not be alone. That's not love. That's a test of your boundaries. And if you don't know how to say, enough, this doesn't feel right, then you'll keep playing a game where the rules were never made to serve you. Remember this, the moment you stop being afraid to lose her is the moment you stop losing yourself. Real freedom comes when you observe, not react. Daniel made a choice, not out of anger, not to prove a point, just a quiet, powerful shift. He stopped chasing, stopped overthinking, stopped reacting to every hot and cold signal she threw his way. Instead, he observed, because when you observe, you're no longer her puppet. You're no longer swayed by every emoji, every delay, every mood swing. You stop asking, what does this mean? And start seeing it for what it is. And in that stillness, in that pause between her action and your reaction, you take your power back. Not the loud, aggressive kind, but the kind that doesn't need approval. The kind that doesn't flinch when someone pulls away. Because real strength isn't about always knowing what to do. It's about knowing when not to move. Don't choose her beauty. Choose her behavior. From that moment on, Daniel saw things differently. He stopped picking women based on beauty, charm, or chemistry. Because he finally understood, those things fade. They distract. They blind you when you haven't done the inner work. Instead, he started asking different questions. Does she bring peace or chaos? Is she consistent or manipulative? Is she present or just playing a role until she gets bored? He no longer cared if she was into him one day and cold the next, because he knew real connection doesn't feel like confusion. It feels grounded, calm, steady, and more importantly, he stopped asking, why is she doing this? And started asking, why am I still allowing it? That shift changed everything, because when a man raises his standards, he doesn't have to chase women anymore. The wrong ones walk away. The right ones show up clearly. The moment you become unshakable. Daniel didn't become unshakable because he figured women out. He became unshakable because he figured himself out. He stopped needing to analyze every shift in her mood, because his peace no longer depended on her behavior. His strength wasn't loud. It wasn't posted on social media. It didn't come with ego, or with a need to prove anything. It was quiet, rooted, the kind of strength that speaks through stillness, not noise. And here's what he learned. If you're constantly asking, what does she mean? You're giving away your power. The better question is, why am I allowing myself to be pulled into this emotional storm in the first place? Because a woman can't confuse you. If you stop needing her to make you feel worthy, the moment you choose self-respect over emotional chaos, you don't become the sailor trying to survive the storm. You become the storm, calm, powerful, unmoved. Your confusion ends here. After this, women won't confuse you anymore. Because once you stop chasing clarity from others and start building clarity within yourself, you change the game entirely. You don't need to decode her. You just need to decide what you'll no longer tolerate. And that simple shift, it gives you back everything you thought you had to earn. So if this spoke to something deep in you, if you're ready to lead from presence, not panic, then stay with us. Subscribe to this channel for more stories that train your mind, sharpen your instincts, and awaken the stoic strength already within you. Your calm is your power. Protect it.